the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening, Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah. Today's Thursday, May 19th, 2022. For KJCR, the Game Changer, and NX Networks, I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is another Fader night with open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. All right. I want to get straight to it tonight. I do. I just want to get straight to it tonight. What an exciting week. What an exciting week. Now, here we go. We have sold out our tour in Egypt this October with Billy Carson. I'll be in Detroit on June 5th for the world premiere of Billy Carson's Black Knight film. A couple of weeks later, I'll be hosting Disclosure Fest. That is 2022 on June 18th, right here in Los Angeles, California. And you can go to disclosurefest.org for tickets and info. Very simple. Go and get that done. Tomorrow night, I will be at the Yngwie Malmsteen concert here in Southern California, and that's going to be great. Coming up on June 15th, I will be at the Peppermint Club in West Hollywood, California, to see Jordan Ziff's band Hot Crazy. And already got I'm not going to say this live on the air. It'll attract too much attention. But there's going to be some Fadernauts at that show. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. Do we wear Fade to Black shirts to the Hot Crazy show? What's going on, man? It's a new band. It's called Fade to Black. Oh, really? It's not that song by Metallica? It is. And so that's going down too. So I've got a very busy month here in June coming up. And come and hang out with me, Disclosure Fest. Come to the Yngwie Malmsteen show tomorrow night. Yeah, man. It's going to go down tomorrow night. So that's happening. And, June 15th, Peppermint Club. We've got, I got another text earlier today about another event. Man, I think it's coming up in a week. I was invited to, and I just don't I don't want to mention the date. I'll get that wrong or what it is, but and I've got to follow up on that anyway and see what's going on. But anyway, it's just it's busy. It is busy. All right. I'm going to skip past the breaking news tonight. I'm going to skip past the on this day in history tonight. I just want to get straight to the phone calls. I want to get to the excitement from everybody, good and bad, about the hearing this past Tuesday. I want to talk about that. I know that all of you do too as well. And of course, anything else that you guys want to talk about. It is Thursday night. It is Fader night. I think it's an important night. And I just don't want to do anything else. I just want to talk. I need now, as we get started, and the number's right there. You can see it, 747-228-2051. I've already got calls on hold. I am going to get to all of them tonight, and I will start getting to the phone calls here in just a minute. Okay, now I want to start off with this, and then we're going to go straight to phone calls. 747-228-2051. It is this. Now, I want, I had a call from Lafayette last night, and that I thought about quite a bit. Lafayette, that was a great phone call. But there is an important thing that escapes all of us that, we just have blinders on. And that important thing is we spend way too much time on cell phones. Okay? We spend way too much time on cell phones. Now, I think that it has replaced a lot of what used to be a traditional relationship, friendship, interaction, and which is in some regards that's fine. But if it's somebody that's on the other side of the country, you would expect that, and it's great. Another part of the world, that's great. But for the rest of it, right? How about just hanging out with friends? Would you rather hang out on your cell phone? Well, okay, there's that part of it. But the other part is, would you rather order food for delivery on your cell phone, have it delivered, or maybe go to a restaurant, go in and order takeout, maybe see somebody, actually interact with somebody? What about that? It's replaced so much in how we do things. Getting tickets to a Solog concert, having to stand in line for 2 days in the freezing cold rain with sleeping bags and hanging out and feeding and keeping each other warm. Now you just order it on, just order it on your phone. Well, that's what I'm talking about. And then there is another part. It's research and it's reading and social media, where you're spending so much time here on the phone or a computer. And I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't hang out on social media incessantly all day long. I just don't do it. I don't have the time to do it, but even if I had the time, I probably wouldn't. And there's the other part, which is maybe it's part of your job, which computers are a part of my job, in that I've got to research, I've got to read, I've got to compile information. I've got show notes that have to get written, and I've got to go through that. I certainly have to deal with production of the show and audio and things and video and cameras and lighting and software. And so, yeah, computers are part of my life, but I'm working. I'm not on social media and I'm not doing things, and I'll run stuff in the background. And that's the other thing. If I'm over on my guitar bench, which is right there, there's a guitar bench there, and you can see all of the collection of tools and the mess that is there. It's awesome. But if I'm over there, you don't see a computer over there. If I'm over there, I'll have, Apple Music, iTunes running over here. I've got a great sound system in here, and I can crank it up. And I'll do that. But am I sitting? No. Which takes me to this show and my comments right now, and the fact that you guys are calling in right now to talk to me. Okay? This show forces me, or anybody that would be sitting in this seat, or anybody that I am interviewing, 3 hours of guaranteed FaceTime. 3 hours of guaranteed conversation. And I don't do that once a month, right? I don't do that once a week. I do it every single day. And even on my days off, I'm on somebody else's program. I'm doing an interview somewhere else. I am taping for TV. I'm shooting for a film, right? I'm at a conference where I'm not on the internet, staring at my phone all day long. And I have noticed the change in me. I've learned a lot. I've gone to college. I have spent 7, 8 years, 9 years of learning. And being able to, in any context, to be able to sit down with somebody, whether it's on the show or just at a coffee shop in your backyard, to be able to every single day sit for 3 hours and talk is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. When I get to Fader Night and I am able to extend out to this family of Fadernauts and invite you into my world, and we get to sit and just talk. Sometimes I'll talk with somebody for 2 minutes, and the conversation is gone where it's gone. It's fine. I'll move on to the next caller. Sometimes the conversation's really engaging, and I'll take a call for 20 minutes. You hear me do it all the time. It's just an ebb and flow, but I'm having a conversation, and I so look forward to Thursday nights and being able to sit down and just hang out and talk like I do every single night of the week. And tonight it's always a little bit different for me. I just get to talk with you. Whatever you want to talk about. I've gotten addicted to it. It's something that I need, I love, and I want. Now, this week, the UFO hearing went down. And after the hearing, and I'm tweeting, I'm actually on social media. I'm actually typing things. And because I just wanted to interact, and I wanted to get I wanted you to know what I was thinking. And I mean, I was amped up, still am. And that day, right after the hearing, I said to myself, Thursday is Fader night, right? Thursday's Fader night. I'm going to get to talk to all the Fadernauts about this. And I've been waiting for tonight all week. So with all of that being said, that is why, for so many reasons that I could go into, for so many the way that I look at this show and what it means to me. So I get I'm sure that the rest of you get this. There's you get like this screen time warning on your cell phone. Pops up. Your screen time is up. Your screen time is down. Right? You get that on your phone. I don't know about all of you. I happen to have the chat up from YouTube in front of me. And I also have over here I have TweetDeck. All right, so I've got Twitter up right now in front of me. So I'm going to ask a question to all of you. Do you monitor your screen time? Do you ever check that out? You ever check out your screen time? Do you know what mine is? On average per day? 20 minutes. Yep. And it was about a month ago. It was, I got your screen time is up 20% this week. It's up to 35 minutes. And I was like, okay. All right. Now, during the pandemic, 2 years ago, at the beginning of 2020, I was averaging 2 hours. 2 hours of screen time a day. And, at World of Meters, I'm looking at this and I'm, airlines being shut down or whatever it is, right? So I did spend, but it slowly has gone down. And I average about 20 minutes a day. And so my question is to you, what is it that you see in your screen time? And let me adjust this. That looks too low to me. Does that look better? So I can do this remotely. I can go this way. I can go this way. I can zoom. I love this remote control. It's great. What's your screen time? Phone, 20 minutes. PC, 4 to 5 hours. That's from Jim. I'm 2 hours a day. That is from Wes. Nobody makes me feel guilty. Mine is about 7 hours. Tom DeLong. That's actually pretty funny. Never monitor my screen time. Yeah, mine just spits it out to me. I have data turned off to stop certain entities from having crap on my phone. Okay, but the question is, what's your screen time? No, I turned it off. Yeah, you turned it off because you're spending 6 hours a day on the phone and you don't want to see that. And I got it. So, oh man. So mine is over 8 hours a day. David says 42 minutes. 9 hours. Really? I average 9 to 11 hours a day on your cell phone. Wow, your eyes. I mean, what does that do to your eyes? I can't focus. There's another thing that I do, and I'm going to get to phone calls right now. Joe says 8 hours. Philip says 30 minutes. 8 hours, 48 minutes screen time. Really? Cupcake sugar pie. It's an awesome screen name right there. And one wonders if that's your God-given name. Cupcake sugar pie. Yeah. So I'm down to about 20 minutes, and I can't take it lower than that. I think that would be impossible to try to do. I mean, just checking email and stuff when you're taking breaks. But the other thing, and I'm going to get to phone calls right now, is this. If I spend too much time in front of a computer, my eyes not only do they get fatigued, but I can't focus them. And they like, I don't know if they're crossing, but I get this fit where I just cannot, I can't get them focused. And I use this Bausch and Lomb product here. I don't want to give a real endorsement, but I use that. And then when I get to that point, I pop that in and I just walk away. I'll walk away, man. I'll give an hour or two and not do it at all, not look at my phone or anything else. But so there you go. All right. So I'm excited about the show tonight and hanging out with all of you. And with that, I'm ready to get straight to it. I got to do one thing and prep a little bit. All right. Here. Okay. Am I good to go? This is awesome. 747-228-2051. Busy week. Had a busy day today, too, as well. And wow, I'm so looking forward to this. Let's go straight to the phones. Let's see who is up first. Hi, you're on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Justin from Nashville.
Hi, Justin from Nashville. What, are you in radio? That was like a radio.
No, not at all.
All right. What's
I
on
just
your...
enjoy listening to your shows. So I'm going to go straight into it. The Congress hearing on UFOs.
Yes.
100%. It's the week, man. It's everything this week. The very next day, I woke up, and the first thing that went through my head was, there will be disclosure in my lifetime, and I now have zero doubt that that's true. And that was a wonderful feeling to wake up to that, because in terms of ufology, I'm a veteran for sure. Been doing this for well over a decade and almost 2 decades. And I'm not an expert level yet, but this for the veterans, when we broke that down and listened to it, we really saw things and heard things that to a non-veteran it would blow right past them. They wouldn't have caught it.
Right.
There were so many bombs dropped and so many seeds planted that day. Like this is going to be an explosion. It's probably going to be like last time, where it goes dead and quiet for 6 months while they analyze to see the public's response, and then I think it's going to really just go wide open.
Did you watch it live?
No, I watched it about 4 hours later.
Okay. Fair enough. I was just wondering how dedicated you are.
If I could have watched it live, Jimmy, I really would have, but it was a very, very busy day.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And I want to stay on the subject of the hearing, but when my alarm went off, I was dreaming about my alarm going and not going off. When I got up at 5:30, you know how you hit the snooze button, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Just watch it later. You're fine. You know, your subconscious. Just keep your head on the pillow, Jimmy. You can listen to it later, buddy. Yeah, it's all right. And I said, no, I'm not going to listen to you. And I got up and cold water on the face and went straight to it. But it was tough. And I was thinking to the people out there that were getting up on the West Coast. You know, it's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, but here on the West Coast, it's 6 o'clock. And I thought, man, I hope that everybody can do this. 6 a.m. is early, but this is going to be historic. And I certainly wasn't disappointed. And so let me ask you this, Justin. Everybody's got their own little moment, their own little highlight. What's your favorite takeaway?
My favorite takeaway would be that two of them. One was very subtle and possibly meaningless. The other one obvious. When the military general, the undersecretary, I believe was one of them, tried to completely change the subject. And the guy who is kind of a very obvious believer, there's no question about it, and he is a voted in person in office, and that's fantastic, was when he brought it back and basically when he was talking about the classified meeting that's going to be happening after, he just was in his face straight up said, so are you going to basically tell us that aliens are real and they're among us or whatever in this classified meeting or not? That right there told me that these guys are no bones about it. They know what's going on, and they're going to get down to the truth. You know what I mean? I heard a rumor about after the meeting, he said something to the press about that there will be disclosure, that the cover-up is coming to an end.
Well, that was Burchett. Well, no, I haven't listened to every single soundbite from everybody. I've tried to catch a bunch, but there's a lot out there. But Burchett himself, he did say this cover-up has to end. And it was a very interesting. Yeah. And he was pretty. He was pointing right as he was saying it, and he goes, "I apologize. I'm not mad at you guys. I'm not pointing at you. I apologize. I'm pointing at them." Sure. He goes, "I'm pointing at them," and I was like, "Wow." He was Burchett was ready to go, and he was upset about the video. You know, what kind of crap is that? You're not prepared, and you bring a video like this. I know that there's other footage, and this is what you do, and you bring this to a very important meeting, you know, and we need to bring other witnesses.
Dropping things like Blue Book and stuff.
Yes.
I mean, there is so much significance to name dropping these hugely important events that happen in ufology that there's no way it cannot not be true. And if I was one of those military men, the first thing that should be going through his head responsibly, given the position that he holds in the military and his responsibilities to the safety of the American people, is if this is true, then what's the difference between us and the Russians fundamentally, that they aren't capable of being in contact and possibly trading technology with these beings as well?
Of course.
That should be going through their head. They should be on this like white on rice. Yeah.
It's those things where, and that's one example of, we're all thinking it, but nobody wants to say it out loud. Well, you know what? We need that part of this discussion is over. You know, we need to just talk about it. When Welch, I've got to take a break here, Justin, in 15 seconds. But you're right. When Welch said, are extraterrestrials doing this? Is ET visiting this planet? You know, and Moultrie's like, well, you know, okay, well, you know what? Then in the classified briefing after this session, are we going to be discussing extraterrestrials and if they are visiting this planet? And he waits for the okay, all right. Well, yeah, you know, he's not afraid to discuss what everybody's thinking. You know, let's go. This is the way. We don't care about it. Yeah, we don't care about technology from adversaries. We know that you're looking at that. We know that we're trying to secure our airspace from other countries that don't have our best intentions in mind. We understand that. That's not what this hearing is about. His hearing is about what's going on up there. Are we being visited by ET?
This one was about aliens.
Yeah, this is about aliens. So there you go.
This one is about aliens. You're right.
You're right.
What a beautiful moment.
It was a beautiful moment. Justin, behave. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you right here on Monday, my man. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. You too. Bye.
That's a perfect phone call right there. And it's a perfect way to get this night started on Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. 747-228-2051. If you are on hold, stay right there. I'll get to everybody tonight. I'll manage it. I'll pull it off. 747-228-2051. It's very simple. On the Game Changer and UnX Networks, Race Hobbs, I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The that talks the net.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Do you have an interest in the paranormal? Then you'll love the unxnetwork.com. The X is your streaming audio and video for everything supernatural, strange, and mysterious, like UFOs, Bigfoot, ghosts, and so much more. From hosts like Jimmy Church, Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, and Christina Gomez. Visit the unxnetwork.com show page for a complete list of all the paranormal programs you'll find on the X. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates at KUNXDB. Follow our Facebook group, UnX Network. Find the podcast on Spotify, iHeart, Audible, and Apple Podcast. It's time. It's new. It's the X.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Manson. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
So, can we talk before I get to this phone call? A few days ago, I watched, I believe it was called Attack from Space. That's right. Johnny Sacco and Giant Robot. First movie, 1970. Johnny Sacco meets Giant Robot for the first time. He's got the watch. Giant Robot, fly, right? The first message, and then it goes into Giant Robot's head, and now he only listens to Johnny Sacco. It was, I forgot. I just forgot how great. Oh, man. And so the robot, right? Does that thing. That's what he does that. Oh, man. Johnny Sacco. All right. 747-228-2051. Thursday night, Fader night, the Giant Robot. What's up with that, man? That's his move. That's the robot's move. And so good. Giant Robot. Crush the dam and let the water go. Does anybody even know what I'm talking about right now? Probably not. Johnny Sacco, Giant Robot. All right, let's go back to the phones. Turn me down in the background. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Paul from West Odessa, Texas.
Paul from West. I would never guess with that accent of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much, Paul.
Well, what I have wanted to ask you, what would you do if you were actually like 3 feet away from an extraterrestrial, like a meter away?
What would you do?
Man, I don't know. I wouldn't. I would.
Well, you've been thinking about it
I would have
because
to
you
see
just
Yeah, I would have to see it to know what would actually be thinking, like what would actually have to be going on in my mind. You feel me?
Oh, not really. So you want to wait and assess the situation, right?
No, it's like
You want to wait and
feel it
assess.
that like.
Yeah.
No, I'd have to like see I would have to see it to see what I would be thinking.
What if? What's your favorite thing to do? Do you have a hobby? What's your favorite thing to do?
I actually since I'm in Odessa, Texas, I'm not too far away from Roswell or New Mexico.
Mhm.
So you will see a lot of stuff fly around. Cool.
But no, I'm saying, do you have a hobby? Do you ride motorcycles? Do you build things? Do you make models? Do you? I'm just saying. Do you have a hobby? Do you play guitar? Do you sing?
School. I do school.
You do school. Okay. So what if?
I'm
okay. That's fine. So what if ET hands you is standing there with a bunch of school books and is offering you information? That's it, right? No big deal.
Of course, I would take it.
What's your reaction? Are you going to hang out? You're not going to freak out? You're not going to run?
I would definitely take it though. I would probably be a little feeling like wow. You feel me? Kind of.
Well, yeah, of course, we would all be
like a whoa.
Yeah,
like
we would all be whoaing. There's no doubt about it. I would be whoaing. What would my reaction be? I think that after going through the adrenaline rush, my reaction is going to be not showing fear. And
of course, you gotta
stand your ground.
Yeah, like body language.
Yeah, body language is going to be
relaxed. They can understand that. I'm sure they can.
Yeah, surely they can. But this is the thing, man. My necklace is like choking me for some reason. I would observe. I would want to take it all in. Right? Look at ET from the top of his head all the way down and just remember what you're looking at. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. That would be my initial reaction.
Definitely.
I mean, would I give the elbow, the fist bump, chest bump, little bro thing? Would I, I don't know if I'm going to be all super friendly because I don't know what their intentions are, what they're doing. But I would definitely want to stand my ground. I'm not going to run. I'm going to get over the shock of it. And then I am definitely going to observe. I'm going to observe.
Yeah.
I'm going to observe. Great phone call, Paul.
That's actually what I like doing. That's one of my hobbies. I like going outside and observing.
Observe.
And I actually wanted to thank you for giving me a couple thousand views on a TR3 video.
Yeah, right on, man. Right on. That was a great video.
Yeah.
That was a great video.
I remember you saying in the video that you were saying that's exactly what that is.
Well,
I was happy to see your reaction.
Yeah. When it turned sideways, it was that was pretty trippy. That was a pretty amazing video. It's a pretty amazing video.
One of the craziest things I've seen was a phoenix that looked like it was burning. There was no flames, but it looked like it was like hot from ember.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like ember.
Yeah.
That was one of the craziest things I've seen. But I've seen TR3Bs do a lot of crazy stuff too.
Yeah. I haven't seen my TR3B yet. I don't think. I've seen a triangle,
that was the first one I ever seen.
Yeah. I haven't seen one yet.
After that, it was like they was here every night.
You know what I did see the other day, and I guess I can talk about it. Okay. I did see this, and then I went over to the area today and drove around. I don't want to say specifically where I was at, but I was trying to see if there was anything on the runway. But a couple of days ago, not going to say what day, I'm not going to do that. But I saw, now just imagine this, because I've never seen anything like this ever. Okay, so on the old-fashioned police cars, where they would have one red dome light that would flash on the top, like from the 50s and 60s, right? They didn't have a bar of lights. They only had that one little light in the middle, right? And it would, it would spin. Okay. I saw this aircraft land over at Skunk Works that had like 6 of those going across the wings on the back of the craft. And it was big. It was a big aircraft. And I watched it. I couldn't see it because of where I was at. I couldn't get a view of it. I could only see it land. But I've never seen spinning red lights spanning across 300 feet of wingspan, or however big this craft was. And there was like 3 on one side and 3 on the other. And you could see it, and you could see it turning at this angle with all 6 going off and then land. And it went behind a hangar when it landed. And I could, that's it. And I was somewhere else and I couldn't get to it. I was like, wow. Okay. So what was that? Now, it was some kind of experimental craft of some kind. Maybe it was being tested, and that's why those lights were on it. They wanted everybody to see it. It was making this landing, and their measurings, I don't know. Maybe it was something else. I don't know. I can only tell you that I saw those 6 flashing lights going across the back of the craft. I could see a little bit of a shadow from the front of the craft, but I couldn't make anything out. I couldn't do it. It was at night. But there you go. All right, Paul, I got to get to more phone calls, man. Thank you so much. And I'm just glad that you would observe, because that's what I would do too.
Yes, Jimmy.
Have a good night, man.
And fade to black.
Fade to black. That's Paul from West Texas. Thank you so much, my man. And I don't like talking about this stuff that I see at night, or specifically when or anything like that. I just don't want to get in any trouble. That stuff is being researched and tested and whatever. I didn't get a close enough look at it to determine anything about what I was looking at, but I've just never seen anything like that. Like flashing lights. And it was big. I could see that. I could see that little bit of a turn and then landed. And it was only, I didn't see anything before that. Well, what else was it doing? I wasn't looking in that direction. I wasn't driving in that direction. I made a right-hand turn, and I'm on the street, and then I'm fading, so the rest of the time I was driving in this direction. It's going on behind me. I'm not seeing it, but I made that turn, and there it was. It was nuts. It was nuts, man. And it was one of those things, I couldn't do anything. I got traffic around me. I'm on a surface street, and the event was over. It was done. And I was like, let's go. Finally, something crazy like that just goes down. And I missed it. Let's see who else is on the phone. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Betty Joe Jacks out of Whirling, Wyoming.
It is not. Oh. It's not Betty Joe Jacks. I don't buy it. No, I'm not buying it.
Yes. I'm truly can you hear the echo? I'm in my tub. I was going to get out, but then it went on and I could hear you talking, so I just stayed in the tub.
This is too much information. Yeah, this is...
Right, no, okay, so let's get right to it, Mr. Jimmy. Thank you for this community and what you do. I really appreciate it. So I want to talk about dreams, but really kind of about flying in said such dreams, but kind of take the dreams to a couple places, if you would let me tell a couple stories.
I would, and you will while you are in the tub. Do you have candle? Are there candles burning?
There is actually a little blue lights, the LED ones. I don't burn because I don't like the output of the ash.
Sure. Okay. All right.
Yep,
So
I struggle with immune stuff from having toxic implants for like 16 years that almost killed me.
Okay. All right.
So I try to stay healthy. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Can we talk about dreams?
Sure.
Okay. So I don't know how many of you have ever had the dream that you were flying or any kind of such dream. I was giving a massage to a client, and I heard everybody that I give massages for a living, and it seems that the between the shoulder blades, on the side of the lats, all these places where wings would be hooked if we had them, per se, if you believe in that. Right. But I jokingly told her I feel like we all lost our wings when we were born, and that we truly did have flight of some kind, whether it's subconsciously, and the wings were just that, not real true. But in my mind, it makes me feel better to think when we were born, they had to stay, and when we die, they come back. But so does the ability to not let the world that we've been indoctrinated with keep us from having these wonderful dreams. And I know the show, when you talked about it a couple times with your people, I just knew the Lord brought me to your page. I don't know what brought me here a few years ago, but I'm glad I'm here. It's been validating me. I try to pay for counseling. I don't get as much from that as I do from you and your show. It's amazing, just so you know.
Okay.
Kudos. But back to the dreams.
Betty Joe, I can invoice you. I can invoice you. That's not a problem. I can invoice you.
Well, they only charge me $5 a visit, but I still feel like they're ripping me off.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
Okay, back to the
I've got a court
flights.
here in Wyoming giving massages, $45 an hour. It's unheard of. But anyhow, I want to help people not get rich. So back to the dreams. I was literally, the first time I remember a cognitive dream was, say, in my 7, 8-ish, where I dreamed I could fly from window top to window top. And maybe it was Mary Poppins indoctrinated, because you see this stuff in TV. I was born in the 60s, so it'd have been about, 68-ish, thereabouts. I don't know if Mary Poppins is around. But then by the time I had that dream to to know it was a sequence, I had it at least 3 times and all the way up into my 20s, mid 30s. And then I had I've actually had 3 sequence dreams where they all led up to the other. And the next one was about when I was 15 in Florida, and right next to our house was a wall. And I had a dream that I was called to be a watchman on the wall, and I didn't understand it. And then again in my 20s, I had the same dream and I understood it more. And then in my 30s or 40s, when I started Cal State and I got involved in newspaper and all kinds of my minors in communications, and I started to understand that, the watchmen and the people who tell us what we can read and learn in school, all that stuff. And so I had that dream 3 times. And this is the one you're going to really love. It was not the flying one, even though I do want to talk about that and see if you actually have flying dreams. But the other one was about saving people in California. Was the first time I had the dream when I moved to Taft, California. They call it the armpit of California. And it's oil fields everywhere. I literally worked in them too. I mean, if it was going to blow up, it would be just fireballs everywhere, right? Well, in my dreams, I was helping people through these fireball fires. I knew the way through. And then it happened again in like 3 times. My last one was less than 2 months ago when I had this dream that I was saving people, and it wasn't necessarily oil filled and fireballs. It was just, I can't recall it. It was just so, I just remember helping people, but that's what I do for a living with massages. So I'll breathe and exhale. Do you fly in your dreams, Jimmy?
I haven't flown in my dreams. We were just talking about that. I haven't flown in my dreams since I was probably 5 or 6.
Okay,
and I don't know why they stopped. I didn't give them a reason to stop.
I'll tell you why I think it is.
Why?
I think it's because the same reason we think we have to get old. The same reason we think we can't communicate with the aliens we know or the evil that's already here. And one other dream, if it isn't too much information, but I believe there's spirits, whether they're good or bad. And there can be good aliens and bad aliens, if we want to call it. And I'm not saying they are the same. They may be different or the same, because I believe in yin and yang. There's spots in the middle where they can come together and it gets gray, but it's not, it's definitely one or the other. I mean, I've literally in my lifetime had very vivid dreams where I've had encounters in my room. One of them was actually from God. And I know people, I was working at a prison and they called me, my lieutenant told me I was certifiable and I shouldn't tell people that dream because I was literally going to kill myself if I wasn't going to quit driving home from Bakersfield, 30 miles away after my shift of working 8 to 12 hours. And then I was just wanting to be around people. And then I'd drive home at night and I'd almost fallen asleep a couple of times. I really didn't drink. I just maybe have one beer when I get to the bar after shift. And then by the time I'd get home, though, and get up and I'd go back to work at the prison at 6 a.m. And I really wasn't functioning well to be working around inmates, and the whole story with that woman correctional officer just recently. It's just, it was a hard job anyhow. So he literally, when he came to me in that dream, I had just got home from the bar. It was just a little after 3. And literally I heard my name, just like one of the prophets in the Bible. And by the third time I was like, what is happening here? And I just I looked at the clock and it was like 3. And next thing I know, I felt lifted off my bed. And because I said, what's happening? He said, I can't even, I'm struggling being in this room. We had a few ex-husbands had sex in the bed, whatever, it wasn't like it was a nun bed, but whatever. And it was one of those kind of things where he couldn't even communicate with me while I was laying in it. And he just told me if I didn't change, that there would be consequences. And I woke up and it was still 3 o'clock. The clock hadn't moved. And it seemed like I was extended above my bed for a lot of times. So I really feel like I got a really crazy spiritual connection. And when I found you, I love the way people kind of dance between, yes, real aliens, oh, it's spiritual. We don't really know, but I know we're not the only galaxy. I always say we're the only ones that ate the apple.
That's right.
And we're struggling.
Sure.
We're struggling.
Sure.
And they've already, if we can go to the moon and Mars, they've been here so many times, it's not even funny. And they come back and laugh at us. And they're the ones that move our shit sometimes just for fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
Other
than, I believe that sometimes, God will intervene and say, no, you're going to leave your keys or you'd be in the pileup, if you didn't go back and look around for them for 15 minutes and they were right where you left them. And they weren't there when you walked out to the car,
Yeah,
I've had that happen.
Yeah, and you bring up some really good points here. And Betty Joe, let me say this: there was some breaking news today. I chose not to get to the news tonight. I wanted to, just get to the phone calls. But there was some news today that I'm not sure that everybody caught, and that is Voyager. We've got Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 are now 12 billion miles away. And to give you an idea about how far away they are, Neptune is like 2 million miles away, right? Okay, so 2 billion miles away. And so when we think about this, so this is Voyager right now, the antenna, the dish is still pointing towards Earth and is functioning, and it's sending and receiving data. But something is messing with the craft, whether it's internal or something else. But something is saying it's not pointing right. It's not pointing in the right direction. There's this, there's other issues that are popping up, but they're not the issues that they say they are because it's still communicating with Earth. And so I stopped and I read through that, Betty Joe, and this is what popped in my head. Aliens, right? I swear. And I'm reading this and I'm thinking to myself, is ET, because Voyagers, both of them are way out there, right? Way out there in the middle of the outer reaches. Way
playground.
Yeah. And could there be something else messing with it externally? And that's the way that I felt. And here's the other point. Voyager was sent out there with all of its information. It's got its plaque and it's got its stuff. Why? In case that it bumps into aliens. Right, of course, right, and just maybe it's happening. Could it be? And it's in the interstellar comparison, it's not very far from us when you look at the size of the universe or the size of the Milky Way, but it's certainly the farthest we've ever gone, and we don't know what's out there. And right now, it takes 20 hours for communication to get back to Earth. Now, you know what that means? We always hear about the speed of light, right? Okay, a light year. Well, that's how far we have traveled from our planet. We haven't even gone a light day yet. We've only done 20 hours. We're not even at a day. We're not even at a light day from Earth. It's crazy, isn't it?
It is. And you know that movie, The Tear in the Sky, that I was so glad you turned me on to, and I bought it and I watched it already a couple times and showed people. And, you know, the whole, it was like, it was so comical to me. It was like they were playing with them. They were like, you know, you'll never get here because you guys can't get along, but we're going to give you a glimpse that it's real. So you don't feel, you know, like validation from going to counseling. I feel like all those people, those heroes, those men, they all got the validation they needed. And it was amazing to me. I got a little teary-eyed about it all.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Well, Betty Jo, enjoy the rest. Enjoy the rest of your bath. Okay?
I will. Thank you, guys. I enjoy you guys' company out there. You faders are great. Fade to black.
That's what I'm talking about. That's Betty Jo Jax from Wyoming. Thank you, Betty Jo. Enjoy the rest of your night. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader Nights, open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer and UnX Networks. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, VX.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering Walt's history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can, right now, get your free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com.
Hi, Race Hobbs with the X. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you have an interest in unexplained phenomena like ghosts, Bigfoot, and UFOs. And by now, you know that we have our own X blog, the UnX newsletter, and the UnX magazine quarterly. But most of you don't know that we have started our very own paranormal conference. And this year, for safety, this 2-day XCon will be virtual, so you can attend from the comfort of your home. XCon presenters include Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, Margie Kay and Preston Dennett, Lisa Martin and Wayne Lawrence, Lee Spiegel, Debbie Zegelmeyer, Dan Terry, Kate Grabowski, and Ray Hernandez. There will also be a live paranormal investigation by the Riverside, Iowa Paranormal Team. So come hang out with us in the safety of home as we set out to explain the unexplained Friday, May 13th and Saturday the 14th, 2022. And tickets are on sale now. Go to unxnetwork.com. That's unxnetwork.com.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church. Fade to black.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official FADERNIGHT by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
Yeah, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. It's open lines all night long. Yeah. I'm in a great mood. I am in a fantastically great mood. It's been an absolute amazing week. It's been an amazing week. And I just can't express, the feeling of the future. The future, sure seems bright. Going to be wearing sunglasses. Yeah, it is like that. UFO Gandalf, man. We've got everybody in the chat tonight. Jimmy's happy after that chop. I've been chopping all night. So you guys haven't seen. You guys haven't. I get to see before you see. Remember that. I see things before the mods see it. That's right. It's like time travel. Here, like, watch this. Watch how quick I can do this. Watch. Bam. It's that simple. I'm not playing around. I am not playing around. It's that simple. I love this family. Okay. Let's go straight back to the phones. Let's see who next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. It's Rooster down here in the South. Man, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Rooster. How you doing, man? What's cracking? What's on your mind?
Oh, man, I'm excited. Been wanting to talk to you about a few things. First thing, gaslighting. We'll get back to that. Some stuff I didn't know about Lou Elizondo. And, of course, the congressional hearings. How about that, yeah?
Yeah, congressional hearings are great, and as far as Elizondo goes,
he's as much as I appreciated Elizondo and loved Elizondo before, the things that all kind of coalesced together today, man, he's going to get the Nobel Prize one day, man. I guarantee. When there is confirmation, if it comes from this process we're in right now, he should get the Nobel Prize. Just I have to thank Green Street. I'm not into people that want to get off and do all that and everything. But everybody coming to Elizondo's like defense or just the community looking a little deeper and saying, well, this is how it really played out, and you're nitpicking stuff over there. And supposedly Elizondo's last podcast for a while.
Yeah, I saw I saw the text, and I mean, Lou told me last month or the month. He's told me a few times. Yeah, he told me a few times. Hey, that's it. I've got other stuff to do. I'll let you guys go about your business, but I've got other stuff that I've got to get done. And
well, he's got that book to put out.
Yeah.
He should be doing some celebrating right now.
Yeah,
Melon and Elizondo and the whole team's been working their way to congressional hearings, which were, I might be the happiest person on this little blue dot in the universe about the hearings. It is more like, it just depends on the way you look at it, but there was more than we could have ever asked for. Congress came out they've been setting laws for 2 years. They've been getting into this for 2 years. This is the first time that the Pentagon, the DOD, the IC, anybody has put people in front of Congress in this process. And it's the first time we've had congressional hearings in 50 years.
Right.
Oh, it's like Congress was asking what, like, we've made these laws. What are you guys doing to follow that? And then I think they set a tone that no matter how much Bray and Moultrie didn't want to give they're like, Congress isn't playing.
No, you're right about that. You're right about that. And they tried at the beginning of the hearing to just like set the tone, and that this was going to be all defense related, and this was a military issue, and we need to secure our airspace, and it's probably Russian, it's probably Chinese, and we're looking into it. And
they told you at the very beginning of the hearing exactly what was going to come from them.
Yep.
I thought my dyslexia was kicking, but
no, you're right. You're right.
What did AOIM? It's written like this, but we're going to tell you this, and this is what you got to accept.
Right.
What do you feel was the biggest bomb in the entire, like, one moment?
Yeah,
who dropped the biggest bomb?
Yeah, the biggest moment. I mean, for me, the biggest moment's going to be different for everybody. But the biggest moment for me, which I stated that day and also that night on the radio, I've said it many times since then, was Representative Welch, when he looked right at Moultrie and said, "Hey, are we going to be talking about extraterrestrials and ET visiting this planet?" And Moultrie answered with, well, yeah. And Welch came back with, "All right, check this out. At the classified briefing after this public hearing, are we going to be talking about extraterrestrials and ET visiting this planet then?" And there was no answer. And that for me was telling both Bray and Moultrie, we're not here to talk about securing our airspace from Russia and China. We know that you're doing that job. All right, we get that. That's not what this hearing is about. This hearing is about ET and extraterrestrials. And what is it that you know? We want the public to know. That's what this hearing is about. Right. And the tone was set, man. And I loved every second of it. The first half of the hearing, Rooster, was different. It took a turn halfway through, and the second half was all about ET and extraterrestrials. And it was very, very clear that that's what that committee headed by Andre Carson wanted to know, and that was its mission. And that's the truth. That is the truth. There's nothing else you can get from it. There's nothing else to deduce here. That was the intention of that hearing. Blue Book was brought up in the beginning. Andre Carson tweeted that it was going to be a hearing about UFOs. That was in his tweet. He said UFOs. He didn't say UAPs.
Right.
And So that's my take. That's my take. And also Burchett's and others, their reaction afterwards was pretty telling too as well. So
I don't know if you caught it. I had to watch this over and over again, but Bray dropped the biggest bomb, and it was silent. You hear Gallagher adding first Gallagher asked them if they're familiar with the Wilson Davis notes or memo. And they immediately, Moultrie and Bray look at each other. Bray with the quick no, looking in Moultrie's eyes. Moultrie with the face of astonished, no, I've never heard about that, which is probably what they had to say. But how can you be so far up in naval intelligence and not know about a leak about very classified stuff about a former Navy admiral, and I'm speaking of Bray? How can you have never even heard of it? And then Moultrie, just the look on his face of trying to feign, no, that sounds really weird. I don't know what that is. Like, they not being in their position due to what the Wilson Davis documents are about, they have to say that. But Congress just got them in a hearing to have to obfuscate, lie, protect classified materials and everything. I think they were, up until that point, they thought they were skating through. At that point, when Carson says, without objection, Bray looks away from Gallagher across the room, bites his bottom lip to prevent the F-bomb he wants to drop. I swear you can just see his aura change when that was added to the congressional record.
And there was a moment right then, and you skipped over it, Rooster, in your excitement. It's not, you didn't do it intentionally, but there was a moment right before that with Bray. Bray actually said, well, yeah, I'm interested to see if it's extraterrestrials. You know, and it
wait, what?
Yeah. And he may not have said extraterrestrials. He said, aliens or something. But he slid that in, and I was hoping that one of the representatives was going to circle back and go, "Excuse me, Bray, but a second ago you said, so are you?" Right? Are you, how interested are you in this? And I realized that Gallagher, what he dropped 2 bombs. He did a bunch, but he did the Malmstrom Air Force Base. And when
Dallas will be fine soon.
And so Malmstrom, for both of Bray and Moultrie to look at each other, what, you know anything about that? No, do you know anything about that? I don't know anything about that. That was BS. Nobody was buying that. Nobody, and including the members of the committee. When he brought up the Wilson Davis document, and he claimed that he didn't know anything about that, I believe it. That I believe. Right? Okay. Is it possible that these guys aren't...
they've never heard of it. Not that they may have never read it. They may have never talked to anybody about it and everything, but in their positions, in the intelligence community, okay, especially Bray, in the Navy intelligence, that you haven't heard about this? I mean, Admiral Wilson come out and tried to vehemently deny it in ways.
Yeah, Rooster, so what I'm suggesting here is I can understand if they haven't heard, let alone read, haven't heard of Wilson Davis. You can get a pass card on that. Not even everybody in the UFO community knows about the Wilson Davis document. But Malmstrom Air Force Base? No. That's just a complete denial.
Little old grandmas that aren't in the community have seen Dateline stuff on that. They've heard of it.
Yeah.
So, like you said, complete denial. Man, this is happening exactly the way it has to happen, and it has to happen through Congress, because everybody's always said the president's got to come, not the way we're politically, sorry, I dropped the phone, not the way we're politically divided. You can't have a partisan president come out with confirmation, but you can have a bunch of Congress people work bipartisanly towards it. And this is like, it's the way it has to happen.
There is. You're right about that. You're right. Hey, Rooster, enjoy the rest of your night and weekend, man. We'll see you on Monday.
One real quick thing. I had no idea that Elizondo's main job was like governing access and counterintelligence for the SAT programs through USOSDI or USOSDI.
Mm-hmm.
Like that means he might not be involved or have access to all the programs, but he was the guy that if you needed to get SAP authorization or you needed to be read in, he was where everything, all the tickets went to and this and that and everything. He was the key holder to the programs in the Department of Defense. Everything makes so much more sense now. And then while he's doing that, he was set up logistically to cover counterintelligence over all SAP and security over all SAP, brought into all SAP, and then handed it off when Lukatsky and everything wants to move on and do other things. He handed it to Lou, who, knowing about SAP in general, knowing about all the things that our aviators are seeing out there all the time, and covered ATIP, and then you get things like things not being run up the chain of command. We could have pilots just dying, smashing into things. We don't know what these things are, and it's not going up. And man, Lou is he's a hero.
Yeah. Enjoy your weekend, Rooster.
Yeah, man. Take it easy.
Fade to black. That's a good phone call right there. Rooster from Louisiana. And I realize that the excitement that I have is shared by just about everyone, and it's I think that the original reaction after the hearing, immediately after, was one thing, but as the minutes and hours turned into a couple of days have gone by, even those that were like, no, they're like, okay, wait a minute. I've had a chance to rethink this. I think I've changed my mind, and I love it. I love it. Okay, turn me down in the background. Turn me down. I'm telling you right there. There you go. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Debbie. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, Debbie.
I'm on my phone. Awesome. My phone gets kind of messed up.
That's okay.
I just wanted to say I've been watching you for about 6 months, and I really enjoy your show. In fact, I end my evening watching your show.
Do you really?
YouTube. Yes, I do.
I hope it's a good wind down.
Yes, it is, because I can I ask you a couple of questions?
You called me, Debbie.
I have started on this spiritual journey about 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I have discovered I have all sorts of psychic abilities that I was born with that are just now kind of popping up. But my question for you is, do you have those kind of intuitions or visions and that kind of thing going on with you?
I do. But here's the deal, Debbie. We all do. It's whether or not you choose to recognize and try to understand. But I think that we all have it. We all have it. Some people, most, they don't give a crap. Right? They don't. They just want to go to work, try to get some overtime in, and get a bigger house, and get home to to have dinner and watch a little TV, go to bed, and do it all over again the next day. They're not reacting to a deja vu or a synchronicity or a vision or a dream. They don't care about it. And I find that to be sad. Not everybody can be like you and I, but what can you do? Sadly enough, if UFOs and aliens and physics and science and exoplanets and extra dimensions and the multiverse, if all of this comes to pass, and everybody is then told, well, you know what? There is a life after death. You can astral travel. You know that there's extra dimensions. You know that there's interdimensional beings. Ghosts are real. And these bombs get dropped because if one thing fits, it all fits. Right, Debbie? I mean, that's just the way it is.
Oh, yeah. I've always known, because I've always had experiences, but it has just opened up to the point, like every single day, multiple times a day, I am getting messages, and I am having so much fun with it. In fact, I even think that I saw an interdimensional being in one of my out-of-body experiences.
Did you
within
really?
The last year.
What happened?
Yes, and it was super as cool. Now, I had never had that experience before, and so I was leaving my body, and I looked up at the left corner of my room, and it was almost like a portal, sort of, but it was more gray, and this being and I know this sounds strange and crazy, but he was sort of like a salmon color.
Okay.
And he had this white claw, and I was having trouble getting out of my body, and he was trying to help me. And I tell you what, had I gotten out of my body, I second guessed it, I would have gone.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should not have second guessed it, but I am waiting for that experience again.
I hope you're not waiting too long.
I am waiting.
Yeah, I hope you're not waiting too long. I hope you're not waiting too long.
No, but
go ahead.
I have a lot of out-of-body experiences. I had one on November 7th. I don't know where I went. I don't know where I go in these astral travels, but they're not around here. But I was somewhere, and I was walking in a neighborhood with little white fences, and I heard my guide whisper in my ear. He said, "Pay attention to what she says." And there was this beautiful young blonde woman standing in front of me. And she was very sophisticated looking, very beautiful dress, and she was showing me her new shoes she got. And she looked at me and she said, "You have a baby girl coming into your life." And I thought, oh my God, my daughter's going to have a baby. And I found out about a month ago she is having a baby. And it was really super cool to be able to meet the soul of somebody before they come into your life.
Yeah, that's
incredible. These are the kind of experiences I'm having, and I'm having the best time.
Well,
and I still want to go to a UFO concert.
A few of my things that I did before my daughter Nicole was born, it all came true, right? So I'm talking to her when she was still, before she was born, and through the skin, I'm doing those weird daddy things, and I'm like, you can have whatever you want, right? I'm whatever. Well, you know what? Everything I said came true. She got whatever she wanted, and I said some other things, but it's really, really funny. She just grew up so perfect, and no issues, and I felt like I knew her before, like you're saying right now, and
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. It was definitely cool. I didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. I didn't know if she was a boy or a girl, I should say. I didn't want to know. We did the ultrasound. I turned to the doctor and I said, "Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?" "I do." "Shut your mouth. Don't tell her.
Yeah.
Don't tell the in-laws. Don't tell my parent. Don't say anything to anybody. If anybody buys anything pink or blue in advance, I'm coming back here and I'm coming after you." "Okay, it's all right, man." I said, "Okay." And that was and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, Debbie. You don't, after Christmas of the age of 5, when you find out that there's no Santa Claus, when you get that bomb dropped on you, pretty much for the rest of your life, there are no surprises. There's no real surprises, right? You know, you're not going to get surprised and your loan is going to get approved. You know, you're going to get denied. Whatever, you know, you're not going to get that job. You got to settle for the other job. You don't get, you know what I mean? There's no surprises. And this was a surprise. And I want when she popped out and she was a she, I had a heart attack because I was surprised and it was awesome. It was so wonderful. It didn't matter to me. It was a 50-50 coin toss, right? Boy or girl. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. But I wanted that surprise. So there you go.
Kids are great. I have the 2 best kids. I'm a single mom. And I have the 2 best kids. And I tell you, they're going to do some great things. My daughter just graduated from nursing school. She put herself through, and I'm so proud of her. And I have been so blessed. And, you know, they both graduated, and now I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm exploring my humanity, I suppose you would say.
Right. Right.
And I'm having fun.
Well, and you called me. And I want you to enjoy the rest of your night, and I hope that I end it well for you. All right, Debbie?
Yes, I just want you to know I really enjoy your show. I really want to go to one of your conferences maybe one day in the future.
Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Tomball outside of Houston, Texas.
You're outside of Texas. Okay. Well, when I get something in
Texas.
Yes, when I said outside of Texas, outside of Houston. If I get to Houston or if I get somewhere in Texas, I'll let you know. Okay?
I would love that. We can go have coffee or something.
Have a great night, Debbie, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you. You too.
It's time to fade to
Appreciate
black.
you. Oh, yes. It is time to fade to black, guys.
I'll talk to you,
Have a great
Deb.
evening.
You too. That's a great phone call right there. Thank you, Deb. And let's get to that break that I've got to get in right now. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. On the Game Changer and UNX networks. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and this year, June 18th, 2022, the Disclosure Fest Foundation presents the Mass Meditation Initiative. It's Saturday, June 18th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., one day only at the Los Angeles State Historic Park in downtown Los Angeles, California, right next to Chinatown. I'm hosting the event again this year with music performances by Trevor Hall, The Desert Dwellers, Orangi, and many, many more on 4 separate stages. There's 16 stages in total, over 30 acres in downtown Los Angeles, with vendors and tents and presentations and workshops with Billy Carson, Adam Apollo, Lori Spagna, Laura Eisenhower, Brad Olson, David Palmer, and many, many more. It's all simple to do. Just go to disclosurefest.org for all of your tickets, information, and a full schedule of the day's events. Again, disclosurefest.org. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts, when you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Yeah, we had some revelations about UFOs this week with the House UFO hearing, and I let it slip about Santa Claus earlier, and I apologize, man. You just can't do that. And yeah, I take it all back. If I could, in the words of Cher, if I could turn back time, I would take it all back. Yeah, I know. Not buying presents this year for Christmas. I know. I am getting it. Lisa Reed just tweeted out, "What do you mean there's no Santa Claus?" And I love Santa Claus, man. You know, one of the things when because at that point in my life I was a single dad, and this was 95, 96, and Nicole was just, you know, she was very young, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 years old. She was born in 95. And so that period of my life, being a parent and going through Christmas, man, I couldn't wait for Christmas trees. I couldn't wait for all of the Christmas cartoons and the Christmas music and just, because I knew that how much fun she was going to have with this and waking up. How did Santa come? Because I had a fireplace in my living room, hanging up the stockings and, the whole thing, man, and playing this out. And I remember she was just starting to talk. She's like 3 years old. We're having like real conversations. And she kept looking back at the fireplace. I don't get it. How? And she's looking up. How? I'm like, it's Santa, man. And just watching her, and that lasted till she was about 6. And I remember her running into the living room, and she goes, "Daddy." I said, "What's up?" She goes, "Deanna just told me Santa Claus isn't real." And we had the Christmas tree up. Right? and I was like, "Oh no, don't listen to Diana." And she was like, "Man, I'm not buying what you're selling anymore." It was like the turning of the tide. Because 2, 3, 4 years old, 5 years old, you are a figure that they look up to, and they're asking all those questions and you're answering them. Why is there air? Well, hey, let me tell you about that. And anything that you say, steers them in a direction with thought processes for the rest of their life. And you got to be gentle with it. You got to be smart about it. But man, it was a lot of fun. All of it, man. The Tooth Fairy. Oh man, I all of it. Man, I lived it to the hilt, and I wrote it as far as I could write it. And if it was up to me, there's still a Santa Claus, and she's 27 today. But man, I just miss it. I really do. I really do. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Donna.
Hey, Donna. How are you?
I'm doing great. I really enjoyed that conference last weekend.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Yes, that's my first conference I ever, virtually went to anyway.
And
the first Zoom I've ever done. So I enjoyed every bit of it.
Yeah, that was the first Zoom I've ever done too, as well. And but I enjoyed it. I hope that I did okay. I haven't even asked anybody, but I certainly had fun. The only hang up that I was a little bit bummed about, and I think everybody saw that at the end, I was hoping for some Q&A with the audience, and that widget wasn't running. So I wasn't able to take questions from the audience, and that kind of bummed me out.
Well, it was the first conference and everything. You got to iron out everything before you get everything just right.
Yeah.
You got to take that into consideration.
Sure. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But I
guess what?
What?
I won tickets to next year's.
Oh, did you really? Oh, you mean in the...
Yeah, they gave out tickets.
They did the raffle? They did the drawing? Donna.
Hello?
Donna,
yes?
You're dropping out.
Uh-oh.
No, can you hear me
now?
Okay, we're live on the radio, Donna. We can't do the "can you hear me now" thing.
Okay.
That doesn't fly on the radio.
All right.
The question.
Yeah, Margie K picked my name out.
Yeah. So, what kind of luck is that? I need to start hanging out with you.
Right?
Hey, Donna.
Yes.
Okay. Are you with us now? You called me. What's on your mind?
Yeah. I just I was going to tell you about that, and then I bought me some lottery tickets since I was in the luck zone.
Right.
And they're sitting underneath my Gracie skull.
And?
I mean, so I'm hoping to win that, and I can get to come physically to the next conference.
Now, I am going to be... Are you on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to do an unboxing of a new skull on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
Live. I'm going to
Yeah, I've
do it
been
live.
watching those.
Yeah, I'm going to do this live, and I have no idea. Carolyn just texted me a few minutes ago, and she just said she's listening. But she says, enjoy your reveal. And she's the best. And so anyway,
Big shout out, Carolyn.
yeah, she is the best. And the way that we're going to have her on the show after I do the reveal, and so we'll do that in the next week or two. But she gets me. But she doesn't only get me. I think that she's just got this intuition, this thing with everybody. She just looks at you. She understands, and you know this. You pick up this vibe from her. So she wants to surprise me, and she knows. I can't wait. I mean, I just can't wait. It's so cool. And these are real unboxings. I mean, like for real. I have no clue. And being able to do this live with everybody is so much fun. And so I'm going to do that on Saturday. So don't miss it. Watch it live.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anything else, Donna?
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, but tomorrow I think it is. Night Sky will be on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I saw the announcement about that. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't
it
watched.
Sounds like a Fade to Black thing.
Yeah. I haven't watched. It does. I haven't watched the trailer yet. I've read a little bit about it. But yeah, so that starts tomorrow night, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm on IMDb right now, and it says it's going to be out tomorrow, and it's got Sissy Spacek and J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, that's right. And but I'm wondering if they're going to release the whole season, and we can binge this weekend, or do we have to wait every week? You know, and
it's going
like Halo.
It's going to be every episode.
I hope so. I just watched the latest episode of Halo, and I was too scared to look it up because it seemed like that was the season finale. And it was an okay ending to the season. It wasn't great. It was weird in that. And what I'm saying is, I thought that it was just a great episode, and then the last 5 minutes they cut to this montage thing, and when they cut to the montage, I was like, what? This is ending, and I didn't want to look it up. I didn't want to look it up because if that's the way that Halo ended, I'm a little bit disappointed because it was just getting started. And I really liked this last episode. It was really cool. But I have to wait week to week. I have to wait week to week. And I'm waiting right now week to week for Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Man, that's starting to get old to me. And I just want to binge. I just want it all at the same time.
It says that there's 8 episodes, and they're all going to be released on the same day.
There you go. All right. So
I love IMDb.
Yep. And that's Amazon. That starts tomorrow night. And
Amazon Prime.
Yep. I've been getting the notices about it. And I went to watch the trailer earlier today, and I didn't, only because I got sidetracked. I was doing other stuff, and I never got back around to it. But I'll do it tonight after the show. Hey, Donna, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
All right. Fade to Black.
Fade to Black, Donna. Glad you won those tickets for next year.
I do too.
Good luck on those lottery tickets.
Okay, thank you.
I'll talk
Good
to you.
night.
Talk to you, Donna. That is Donna from Kentucky. She's the absolute very best, man. She has been a part of this show for so many years, and really appreciate her. Yeah, she sounds like she's a walking bowl of luck. A walking bowl of luck. When you're doing stuff where things are popping on every cylinder, and you're turning corners, and luck is playing out. Go buy some lottery tickets. Why not? Absolutely. Put that underneath a skull and ride that out. Ride that wave of luck out. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
What's up, dude?
Hey, JT. Oh, no, this is Pat.
Yep.
Hey, Pat, what's up?
Hey, man, got a question for you.
You always
When you go
do.
to Egypt, yeah, I know. I always got questions. I'm
And,
full of questions.
and wait a minute. The last time you called in, you said the exact same thing. Hey, I got a question for you. When you go to Egypt, you did the exact same. Are you reading from a script, Pat? Do you write this out?
No, I am not. All right, dude, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Are you going to be in the area of the White Sands,
I don't know.
the White Desert?
Where's the White Sands?
It's by a town called, F-R-A, Frafra. I can't remember. I haven't looked it up in a while.
Okay, hold on a minute.
But it's the White Desert is what it is. But there's a national park there.
Uh-huh.
It's by a small town. It's F-R-A.
Yeah,
F-R-A.
it's Farafra.
Yeah, Farafra. That's it. Okay. I was just wondering if you guys were going to be by there, might want to go try to see if you can't get a prophecy stone.
Well, I'm looking it up here. Hold on for a second.
I mean, next time you talk to Billy, ask him if you're going to be in that area or if you guys can make a sidetrack to go there, because maybe find out if you can go there and get your own. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now, if what I am looking at is correct, no, we're not going to be anywhere near there. That's over on the other side of the Sinai Peninsula, very close to Saudi Arabia and just south of Israel. We're going up the Nile. So, I mean, if what I am looking at is correct, okay, so hold on. Let's do this. Let's take this.
Well, I knew you guys were going to different places. That's why I was asking. I didn't know where you guys were going to go.
Okay, so now I am at Farafra, Egypt. Let me back this map up.
I think it's north of there. I think it's up a little bit.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. We're not. That is literally in the middle of Egypt, in the middle of the desert. That's
pretty much.
I'm looking here now. That's about 250 miles west of the Nile. I
was just thinking, man, if you could run over there and maybe get your own, be able to pick it out of the sand or wherever they get it from.
Well, Farafra is a real, I'm looking now at the sands in the desert. Yeah, that's man, look at that. That is an archaeological site. Look at all of that. That looks wonderful and beautiful.
Yeah, they actually got white sand. I mean, it's a white desert.
I'm looking at it. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Yeah, this is crazy. And there is a lot
All
of.
right, man. But if you're not doing that, going that way, that's fine, man. I just thought it'd be kind of cool if you guys could get your own, dig your own crystal out there. I mean, hell, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that looks like, you know what that is? That's a bona fide, that's like a helicopter. You rent a helicopter and you fly out there. You're not driving. I'm looking at it here on this map, and there is not the road that comes out of Cairo down to there. Man, does that look treacherous, man? And it's that's 200 miles of desert. Now I'm going to look at it here. Let me look at this road on the map here. Hold on. Let me blow this up. Yeah, that is literally 200 miles through nothing.
Yeah. There's they don't even call it towns. They're just like oasis.
Yeah, I'm looking the oasis that you're talking about. Let me zoom in here. It's called Al Hawa, right?
I think there's 7 little
Okay.
oasis, so they call them around there. I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's Al Hayez, right? And I see the trees and stuff. I don't see one building.
No, probably not.
I don't know where you would stop for gas. That is crazy.
I know I read an article and they talked about they take a lot of the schools, I guess, over in Egypt. They go out there and camp and stuff. So
Yeah, that's crazy. And then there's another town called Bati.
now, have you already got your crystals figured out yet?
No, I haven't thought that far ahead.
Okay.
But I'll be taking
You
your
want me to
advice.
send? You want me to send you a prophecy stone?
Can I take a prophecy stone into Egypt?
Well, that's what I was wondering. If you want me to get you one, store down the road, I can go grab one and send it to you.
Yeah, let me talk to Billy and see, what customs does. As far as I know, I'm going to be weirded out about bringing stuff out of Egypt, right? I've got a receipt for that. I bought that at a gift shop. I know I'm going to have to go through that. Now, going into Egypt, what can I bring? So let me talk to Billy. He goes there all the time.
Find out what you can do.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, just take your crystals, wrap them up, and make them a necklace.
Bye, Pat. You're the best, man. I love you. You have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
All right, later, dude.
That is the elf, man. That's Pat. And prophecy stone. Take that into Egypt. Yeah, this is take a canopic jar with you. I know, right? Oh man. It's all very, very interesting to me. I can't wait. I've thought about this a lot. Like people leaving Egypt, right? Going in the opposite direction, leaving Egypt. They're looking at everything that you got. That's it. That's the game. You better have your Judge Judy receipts. Yeah, you better have an explanation for everything. So there you go. All right, stay on the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Drew from California Pickin'.
Hey, Drew from California Pickin'. How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
It's a great night, man. And let's get straight to it. I don't want to run out of time for you. We've got about 6 minutes.
I'll make it short. That Rooster phone call really pumped me up. The congressional hearings, he kind of stole my topic, but how about that Senator Gallagher? He was busting balls, wasn't he?
He was. Everybody's talking about Gallagher. Yeah, everybody is. Everybody loved it.
He said, well, if you're not looking into it, who is? And I'm pretty official.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you know what the thing is about Gallagher? He looks really smart. He looks grounded, right? He's got a thing about him. He's young. He's got a lot of energy. And this is the other thing. You combine that with an inquisitive mind. He's okay with it, man. He's okay. He's been learning. He's been asking questions. He's been doing a pretty good amount of research. There's no doubt about it. And for him to, he could have asked any question that he wanted, right? Anything. And he chose to go in those directions. And that was very, very, very impressive. I don't think he's conspiracy theory. I don't think he's tinfoil hat. I just think that he's read his stuff, and the stuff that seems factual to him, like Malmstrom and the Wilson Davis doc, these are important questions. And he wanted to know if they knew, and if they didn't know, what are they doing heading up these investigations? Right. And that's exactly what we need. That was awesome.
And there was this real weird pregnant pause when he turned and said, could we have this submitted into the record?
Yep.
And the guy just paused, and it was hysterical.
And now let's think about the significance of what happened. Okay, so this, as far as I know, there was no other evidence admitted into the record, right, in that hearing. But now any other representative or anybody else on Capitol Hill. I don't know how much it's a public meeting. So is this part of the public record? But anybody that goes and reads about and follows up about that hearing is going to see the Wilson Davis doc, right?
Yep.
That's the beautiful part about this. And no excuse. Have you seen the Wilson Davis doc? No, I haven't. Well, we admitted it into the public record, right? And
That's
so, you know what I mean? So nobody can say anymore that they don't know anything about it. Well, it's part of the public record. You know, are you doing your homework?
Right.
So, yeah, there you go.
And then that footage that Schiff showed, it was kind of weak, but it was a sphere that they showed on film. And I have to tell you, I had another UFO sighting that I filmed the other day, Jimmy, on the 15th, I believe it was. I posted on my channel. And I even called you out a couple times. I said, Jimmy Church, what do you think of that? It was another sphere sighting.
Where was this in the Venice area?
No, over Culver City.
Oh, Culver City. Are we going to have this conversation again live on the air?
Yeah, we are.
What is the difference between Venice and Culver City? 2 blocks? Exactly. Okay, so we're not talking about Riverside. We're not talking about Redlands. We're not talking about Modesto. We're talking about Culver City / Venice.
I'm near the Venice Boulevard, if that's what you mean. But no, I think that you could possibly see these things from different vantage points because they're up several thousand feet in the air.
Yep.
And it's really wild, Jimmy, that most of my sightings, how am I able to record 15 videos of spheres over the years? I mean, it's really amazing.
Well, what was disappointing was they chose, I mean, that video probably, or could have been a great video, but we'll never know. They weren't prepared. They should have had still frames, screen captures. They should have had slow motion. They should have had all of that ready to go instead of just playing a video and not being able to stop it and analyze it. And that was very ineffective. And so for those for those representatives, time is money. Money is time. And those guys are sitting there and it's like, let's go. And they had to waste all of that section of the hearing saying, was that it? What are we seeing? Was that it? Was that it?
Right.
Was that it?
Right.
What are we looking at? Are we looking at that? Is that it? I was like, I cannot believe this is going down the way it's going down. They should have been more prepared with that. If that's the video that you want to show, then, if you were in court and you did that in front of a judge, could you imagine right? Could you imagine? You got to be prepared, man. It's
I
like.
I was laughing because I have better footage than that footage that they had. And what's your feelings on what the spheres possibly could be? Some people say they're probes from a mothership. And I was thinking the other day, these things actually could be organic, living organisms by themselves with their own consciousness, possibly. I don't know. What's your thought on that?
Well, anything's possible. And that's right up there with anything else. Look, we have to look at it like this. It must be thousands of civilizations visiting this planet. And that object, whatever it was in that video, maybe it was only here that one time. Once. Right? That's it. And because none of this stuff resembles each other. And sort of it does in some ways. You can make these correlations, and Socorro and the Tic Tac and butane tanks in the 50s, and we can sort of do that. But honestly, no two sightings are the same. They really don't. And I have seen so many different things, Drew, and I've got to run. I'm now 15 seconds late. I've seen so many things, and none of my sightings have repeated. None. And none. That's it. That's it.
Let's hope they get somebody like Jaime Masamun in there to talk about these topics, or Nick Pope, or any of them.
Yeah, that would be, I think that's what's next. I think that's what's coming next, Drew. Drew, California pickin', man. You are the best. Go and visit Drew's YouTube channel. This is Fade to Black. I'll be right back after this short break.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, the X.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of Forbidden Knowledge, and we're heading to Egypt this October. Come join Jimmy Church, myself, and the Forbidden Knowledge team as we spend a week exploring Giza, the Great Sphinx, the Great Pyramid, Saqqara, Dashur, Aswan, Edfu, Dendara, Karnak, and we'll celebrate Jimmy's birthday in Luxor. The Forbidden Tour of Egypt is this October 5th through the 12th and includes a 4-day Nile cruise, expert Egyptologists, and a chance to explore Egypt with Jimmy and I as your host through your journey of a lifetime. Space is limited, so make your reservations now. Please visit forbiddenknowledge.com for information and complete itinerary. That's forbiddenknowledge.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and this year, June 18th, 2022, the Disclosure Fest Foundation presents the Mass Meditation Initiative. It's Saturday, June 18th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., one day only at the Los Angeles State Historic Park in downtown Los Angeles, California, right next to Chinatown. I'm hosting the event again this year with music performances by Trevor Hall, The Desert Dwellers, Poran Ki, and many, many more on 4 separate stages. There's 16 stages in total, over 30 acres in downtown Los Angeles, with vendors and tents and presentations and workshops with Billy Carson, Adam Apollo, Lori Spagna, Laura Eisenhower, Brad Olson, David Palmer, and many, many more. It's all simple to do. Just go to disclosurefest.org for all of your tickets, information, and a full schedule of the day's events. Again, disclosurefest.org.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, it is Thursday. It is Fader Night. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Yeah, it jumped into calls early tonight. We've just kept him going. And let's see who's next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Sarah Ann.
Hi, Sarah Ann. I knew you'd call in
How are you?
tonight. You couldn't resist. There was just no
No, I
way.
couldn't.
Now, okay, let me ask you, did you watch the hearing live?
I don't watch anything. No, I didn't.
I'm hanging up.
I just don't. I don't have a TV. I guess I could watch it on the internet. No, I don't.
You know,
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the internet's going to be big. You should check it out. It's going to be big. I'm serious. I'm serious.
I have this thing called a full-time job. You know, I don't connect with people in the outside world during the day, and I'm not really online a lot. I'm sorry, but I do get my information through you. You are my only resource.
Well, good luck with that.
You better be doing a good job.
Did you did you watch any of the highlights of the hearing?
No, you have been highlighting the event for me.
Wow. Sarah Ann.
I mean, it's very exciting. There's no doubt about it. I'm very excited about it. At this point, I will tune in when I feel like something is big is about to happen.
That was pretty dang big,
meantime,
Sarah Ann. Sarah Ann.
Yeah, it was.
It was pretty dang big, young lady. And here's the thing. This is what you have to do this weekend. You're going to watch the hearing. You're going to watch it from beginning to end. And then you're going to call me next Thursday. And then we're going to have a chat.
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, moving on.
What now, though, kind of.
What's
that?
that?
I want to talk about the hearing. I want to talk about it and kind of how I'm feeling about it based on, the media coverage that I did. I have to admit, I did see some media coverage of it. And it is very exciting. But I feel like, gosh, I have a sense, especially in the last couple of weeks, of how contact might actually roll out for us. Because, this is really disclosure. It's happening. It's very exciting. But now it's kind of like, well, how is contact going to be experienced? That's what I'm thinking about. And, gosh, it's like, I feel like in future conversations that were like this hearing, we might be talking about maybe some of the things that, Jay Weidner and Jason Quitt really presented some relevant information as it relates to realistic contact, as I kind of foresee it to happen, if you will.
And when I think that we all can feel it, certainly inside of this community, that we have seen these these huge steps forward, right? Just huge steps forward. But is it truly what we would call disclosure?
Well, it's happening for sure, but what I think, so this is what I'm feeling. And listen, I love it when salt of the earth, but super mystic dudes like Jay Weidner and Jason Quitt come on your show, because they speak about things that help me to feel understood. And they help others to understand things that seem totally woo, but they present in a way that's very logical. And I think guys like this need to be consulted with in order for us to understand how this technology actually works and how contact will actually play out as it relates to this whole hearing and discussion. I don't think it's going to be like a UFO touching down in a meeting, if you will. I think it has to do with, I've talked about a lot of my experiences and having almost like contact coming through portals in a semi-physical way, almost like phasing in, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Not only beings, but also hieroglyphs and ancient symbols and language and metaphors that are presented in a way that it's a communication and it's contact, but it's not like, a craft lands on my roof and a beam of light pulls me up into it. Not that hasn't happened, but I don't think that experience of contact with the UFO, I don't think that that's what we're going to be dealing with when it comes to actual contact. I think it's going to be through, I guess they're called soft scenes. I've talked about, the energy that people see, the lights behind the eyes. Jay talked about this. He was talking about his friend that I think he had like a head injury, and all of a sudden he started seeing like beams of plasma walking around his house. He like recognized him, and there was like temporary contact until that injury, resolved itself. That's how I think contact is going to take place, where it's like beams are coming in a I don't even want to say physical. They're going to be in their non-physical plasma form, if you will. But it's like, at what point does non-physical become physical? Is that making sense?
Well, of
I
course
feel like there's going to be this process where things are constructed and something eventually becomes physical, but it's not going to start out that way. It's going to be like, the crazy things that I see, holograms that start off as static, and then it turns into like shapes, and all of a sudden a hologram is like coming up to my window and there's beams inside. And I think that there's a very scientific way to understand how that happens and how that relates to the technology that allows beams to travel.
Right.
I think it can be understood. I can't present it, obviously.
Well,
but I think.
Okay, let me spin this around and play it out this way. And I'm going to go Hollywood, right? And I don't like going to Hollywood. I don't like doing that necessarily. But that being said, if we go to Steven Spielberg's movie AI, okay. And at the end of the movie, when E.T. reveals themselves on their craft, and at that point the Earth is frozen, right? And so they're going underneath, and there's the frozen city, and they go down, and the kid, what's his name? Hadley. What's the kid's name? I forget his name. Anyway, so when that moment is there, how is E.T. presented in the movie? E.T. is presented as a light being, as an energetic figure. And
right.
Not there's no blood system, right? There's no flesh. There's no but is that physical, right? Because it's obvious that it's an energy situation, right? That ET is being presented as this light being, this energy, this thing. But you can see it, right? Now, can you touch it, or is your hand going to just pass through ET, right? Like a hologram. But I think that approach is not too far removed from what we really need to be thinking about. We have to think completely outside of the box. Completely. We have to forget about who we are. Even robots or androids with, conscious, sentient thought and, downloaded into them and everything. Okay, yeah, that's a possibility. And that's probably what we're going to do first as humans. As we start to, explore interstellar space, we're going to go that route first. But how do we evolve, and what do we evolve into? And if you are a light being like that, all of the considerations are gone. Disease, food, right? Sleep, all of those things that make space travel difficult if it's indeed taking great amounts of time. And then you could spend so much time learning and getting smarter. And so I think that representation, even though it is Hollywood, and I get that, it's Hollywood, but there is there's something to that. And there's something to that.
The weird part, though. I'm so sorry. I was just going to say, though, is there a possibility of like light beings being able to materialize and be physical. I mean, these are the sort of things that I ponder as I have these experiences. And then, like, you know, Jason, when he was talking about astral travel, that tripped me out so much because some of the things that he talked about, I know exactly what he's speaking of. So I lucid dream a lot. I have never astral projected that. I remember once when I was 3 years old, I was pulled up like magnetically almost into this portal that's always kind of around me. That contact comes through, that hologram comes through, if you will.
Right.
But actually leaving my physical body where I turn around and see my body and I step into my astral body so that the astral body feels physical and I travel.
Right.
No, I have not, like, that has not happened. But when he talked about the portal as it appears, which I completely understand, that's around me all the time, going into it, like being pulled up into it, and that static, that's like black and white in reverse, and the sound of it and the feeling, the electricity of it, I know that feeling, but it's almost in reverse for me, where I wonder, like, are aliens astral projecting to us?
Why not?
Like, is that what's but then it's like, are they becoming physical as a result of that travel, where they can kind of like beam me up, Scotty, sort of scenario?
Sure.
You know, it's just fascinating, and it seems so out there, but I think that if we can get the right people talking about this, again, not me, you know, somebody needs to be able to put my experiences into like the framework and the good language and make it understandable and relatable. But these are the kinds of, I think, references that would be really good for the greater population to start to think about what contact really is, what space travel really is, and that it's something that's very organized and logical. And it could be where, you know, all of a sudden we have a big international meeting that's like Skype, but like a hologram. We're talking to disease. I feel like that's how they would introduce themselves.
Yeah, why not? So let's remember something, that no matter what, ET, whoever they are, from wherever they are, has been observing us for a long time. They know about Jesus. They know about Egypt. They know about the dinosaurs. They also know about Elvis, right? And they understand who Tupac and Biggie are. They understand these things. And they would then, because of this, of course, would be able to project an image to us that wouldn't freak us out. Right? You don't want to project an image here that is, you know what I mean? You don't want like an 8-armed dragon monster. You know, they're real, however they may be. You would want to be able to project something that we would understand and be able to communicate with and feel safe about. And they would understand that totally, 100%. And the best way to do that, and we're doing it now, we have hologram technology, right? And we can do whatever we want with that. So, and you can make a hologram be whatever you want to be. You want to have Barney, you know, or the Smurfs dancing in front of you. You can do that. Yeah. And so why
is the hologram can start to become physical. Like, I can feel a hologram as if I feel something there.
But my point is, and I'm agreeing with you, that if a projection like that comes in, it's not going to be something that's going to scare the crap out of us. They understand who we are, and they understand our language, and they would understand how to speak to us and how to not only how to communicate, but how to not say something offensive. You know, you know, the opposite of "we come in peace." You know, we're here to take over your world. Set your clocks. We'll be here in 6 months. They're not going to say that.
Yeah.
Right. And
no, but of course, if somebody has the ability to perceive that communication, I mean, where there's light, there's dark. You know? So I wonder if there's going to be some sort of like transmission where it's brought through people who are able to pick up on it more. I mean, when Jay was talking about that healing ritual that involves intense light deprivation followed by very intense sunlight exposure,
Mm-hmm.
it's just reminding. I keep getting led back to these things called phosphines and phosphinism, and it's too long to talk about, but these are like light sources that are in the brain. And when you have, and there's all different ways of being exposed to light and then having sort of a biological evolution and a consciousness evolution. Sun gazing is one of them, but also how crafts appear in the sky. I mean, oftentimes we see crafts and they're plasmic and they're moving in a certain way and they're shooting different lights. Yep. I know that that's doing something to the people who are observing them and allows an ability to experience more communication. And so, yeah, I think it's the whole phosphinism thing is an interesting thing to look at as it relates to contact and what might happen in the future. And again, being able to present it in a way where people that are at the hearing can understand and relate to.
Yeah, and
work with, if you will.
Yeah, and that'll be the next step. Even though you haven't seen the hearing, and I understand that, and you're going to watch it, and we can circle back and talk about it. But the next hearing is definitely we need to hear from other sources, alternate sources. We can't be hearing constantly from the Pentagon, the Department of Defense, and Navy, and whatever. Who I cannot imagine somebody from the CIA or the NSA sitting there and giving their blah 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 blah. blah right? No, we're past that. So I think the next round is going to be even more interesting, and we'll be able to hear. Yep. Right now, they don't want to give up the evidence. Right, they're hearing from departments that aren't giving it up. They say that they're trying, but they're not. Let's get somebody up there that's going to go, check this out, and push a pile of stuff, across the table. And that's going to be a whole different situation. So there you go. Sarah.
Further, I think the beings are going to start to show themselves, not just the craft. I think the beings are going to start showing themselves. They're not going to be in a totally physical form, but let's see.
Yep, absolutely.
I'll tune into that.
Enjoy your weekend, Sarah Ann. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call. Lots of love to the Fadernaughts. Good night.
You're the best, Sarah Ann. And always a great phone call with Sarah Ann. And I am trying to get everybody in tonight. I know that I promised that I would. So let's just keep this rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Like this next caller. Turn me down in the background. Turn me down. I'm just telling turn me down. Are you going to turn me down? Okay, I'm going to give this a shot. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Bob. How are you doing?
This is Bob. Turn me down in the background, Bob.
I got you. I already turned you down. Okay. Hey, I'm from Enid, Oklahoma. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, you're from Oklahoma?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's on your mind, Bob?
Well, I was just thinking, I used to live by Hill Air Force Base up in Utah.
Uh-huh.
And, I've seen some crazy stuff. And, I mean, like triangle-looking things. I'm not going to call them UFOs because I'm not sure that's what they were. But, go back with Peppy, man. Is Fade to Black. I am so glad to even get to talk to you, sir. It's a privilege.
Absolutely, Bob. And I haven't, and thank you for the phone call. It's Bob from Oklahoma. There is an element to the black triangles. They've been seen all over the world. They've been seen for years. The question will always be, what are they? And I would think that by now, the way that we look at them is some may be extraterrestrial. There's and certainly these large, mothership type craft that have been seen would represent something else. But I think that the smaller ones, I think that the evidence keeps pointing towards that's, there's no wings, there's no a propulsion that is visible. So it would strongly suggest technology that is pretty secret. I don't know if other governments have it. I can't speak for Russia and China or Israel or United Kingdom or Australia, or, Spain, Brazil. I can't speak for those other countries. But these sightings have been seen in the United States. And Bob brings up one point that he lived near Hill Air Force Base in Utah, and he was seeing black triangles up there. And I would say that that is entirely possible because of the testing that would go on with our Air Force and other private corporations, of course, that developed this stuff, Northrop Grumman and Raytheon and General Electric. Here's the thing. Is that technology from something else? Now, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be the propulsion system of an alien ET craft, but it could be part of the technology from those craft. Maybe it's the skin. Maybe it's some kind of polymer or paint or coating that gets electrified and causes these craft to float and fly. Is it something as simple as that? That isn't part of the propulsion system from an ET craft with some unknown, being powered by a white dwarf star. I don't know. There's a little Dyson sphere inside, and they've got a ball of plutonium. I don't know. I don't know these things. But could it be just a simple piece of this technology that has been back engineered? I think that this technology is definitely partially represented in the B-2 bomber. I do. I think that there is something going on with the skin of that craft, and I think that there is lift being generated there that isn't coming from the engines. I really believe that. Now, where did that technology come from? Is it just pure human ingenuity? And our engineers just thought about this and they got it on their own? Or was it just some little piece of technology from something that fell out of the sky or crashed or was given to us? And then we turn around and develop that into what is known as the TR-3B or these black triangles. And then when these craft are seen by individuals that have no idea about UFOs or black triangles or what a TR-3B may be, but they see a black triangle flying around that doesn't have wings or engines or sounds that a jet engine makes or even a propeller, and you have an absence of that, and people wonder what they're looking at. So do they think that that is alien or ET? But I think as we've moved along, I think that we're starting to get a firm footing here that these black triangles are probably military based. And I don't know definitively. I'm just talking about what I've learned over the years. I find it completely fascinating. Let's take our break right here. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. It's open lines all night long. And let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 calls. I'm going to try to get them all in that are on hold right now. I will try to get them all in before the end of the show. Let me give it my best shot. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More right after this short break. Stay with us.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can, right now, get your free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, the X.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30 days free. That's coupon code 30 days free on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JamieChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night, best night of the week. Man, great calls tonight. Every single one, just fantastically great calls. And I was just watching the excitement, everybody talking about Ariel phenomenon. And it technically, I guess it premieres at midnight our time, the 20th. So I guess in different spots around the world, if you can get it, it's already available to you. So tonight after the show, if you can watch it, watch Aerial Phenomenon. And before I get back to the calls, I've been watching. There's a series out. It's called The Offer. And I think I'm up to episode 5, episode 6, and it's about the making of The Godfather. And it's really good, and it's really well done. And Robert Evans, going back, I remember reading the book, The Cotton Club Murders, and I've always followed the career of Robert Evans, and I just always thought he was just a very, very interesting guy. Anyway, the guy who plays Robert Evans in The Offer is really, really good. And but putting that aside, so last night after everything, and it was late, and I was like, man, The Kid Stays in the Picture, which is the documentary about Robert Evans, and it came out in like 2002. And they addressed the Cotton Club murders. They addressed the cocaine charges and dealing and everything that happened later on in his life. But anyway, The Kid Stays in the Picture is an incredible documentary about Robert Evans. So if you go and you get a chance to watch The Offer, if you're into The Godfather like I am, and all of the great pictures that Robert Evans put out, like Chinatown and Love Story, so many films. He was the head of Paramount forever. He just led the most interesting life, and the story behind The Godfather is really cool. Now, there's the other thing about The Offer. If you're an OG Fadernight and you've been listening to the show for a long time, you remember when I had Dan Fogler, the actor, on the show, and it was a great interview. And Dan Fogler, who is one of us, right? Dan Fogler plays Francis Ford Coppola in The Offer. So if you remember the show that we did with Dan Fogler, and it was just amazing, Dan Fogler stars in this TV series. So you'll enjoy that part too. Okay, so anyway, The Offer, The Godfather, and then, of course, The Kid Stays in the Picture, the documentary. Okay, about Robert Evans. With that, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Jessica from Michigan. How are you?
Hi, Jessica from Michigan. How are you? What's going on?
Yeah, I was a pre-birth caller, and I had a birthday that night, and I was telling you about my pre-birth story.
I remember.
Do you remember that?
Of course. How could I forget that?
Oh, awesome.
So,
Awesome.
So what's on your mind tonight, Jessica? What's going on?
Okay. So I did get a hold of my brother, and I did ask him if he remembered anything about that night, and he said he didn't, that he was too young. He was playing with trucks. That's all he remembers.
Sure.
But I did have another story.
Okay.
So this one's a after death topic. And so I know, like, I was reading an article that after people have passed away, they can, like, produce sound or heat or cold spots within a 3-day time frame. And so, or like a voice. And this article said that, they have 3 days to do it. They have the energy within 3 days to produce sound. So this was in the 80s, and my dad had passed away. So my mom, just after he passed away, was saying how she was hearing him call her name. And we're like, no, you're just upset. We're all going through a lot. You're probably not here. It's probably nothing. So then we went to do funeral arrangements, and we came back. So it was me, my mom, and my brother. And we came back to the house. She went to the bathroom. Me and my brother were sitting on the couch. And from the other room in the kitchen, we heard my dad call my mom's name. And so we looked at each other and we're like, did you hear that? I'm like, yeah, did you hear that? But we were so like frozen, scared. I couldn't get up. He couldn't get up to go look. Because we were just, like dealing with all these arrangements and just like to hear that. And then knowing that she was telling us lately that she's been hearing him call her name. So we didn't get up to look. So we never saw anything. But the thing that when I remember that I find odd, like late years later, it was the type of voice, like it was his voice, but it sounded like a answering machine. And we didn't own it. I know, like real machine-like, but we didn't own an answering machine. But if you were to play like the older answering machines on play, that's what it sounded like. So, and today I'm like, ooh, that's kind of interesting. When I think about what it sounded like, I can hear it in my, I can picture everything and think of everything, and I just find that interesting. Like,
yeah. When my mom passed, and she passed during the show about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and she was cool, and I flew out the next morning to Florida, and the flight was already scheduled, but she passed away before I could get there. Anyway, so now I want the experience, right? That everybody's like you just talked about, right? Is she going to come to me in my sleep? Is she going to show up in my bedroom? Is she going to knock something over? Am I going to hear her voice? I got nothing. Nothing happened. Yeah, I wanted the experience. It still might, and maybe,
but not yet. But it could be not yet.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't. I think there's different ways of contacting loved ones. And
yeah,
it may happen next week. Something of her picture may fall to the ground, or something may happen in the future. Now that we're talking about it, I think when you bring things up like that, it can bring about.
Okay, here's my or though, Jessica. Or she's moved on. She doesn't give a crap. she's doing her own thing. She's hanging out with her friends. She's playing pinochle.
Right.
And she's like, sayonara, right? You guys are on your own. There's a famous quote. I used to repeat it all the time. You know what's going to happen if I win the lottery? Say what, Jessica?
What?
You're never going to hear from me again.
Right.
You will never see me ever again. And maybe it's that way with some people that when I die, that's it, man. Yeah, I'm not coming back to visit. I'm moving on, man. I'm living the good life. You will never see me again, right? So maybe that's it.
Right. That could be.
Maybe that's it.
Exactly.
Hey, Jessica, thank you for sharing that with us and calling in again. And I look forward to our next conversation.
Yes, thank you for having the chat, and the show's great. I love the new format. So, everything's fabulous. So thank you.
You're the best, Jessica. Everybody was just texting out, I remember her pre-birth. I remember that. So there you go. You're a rock star. Jessica, enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Yep, bye-bye.
Bye. It's time to fade to black. And that was a great phone call. I don't think that's... I think people are going to remember that night for a very long time. Let's stay on the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Earl from Orcas. What's up, man?
Hey, Earl. Where are you calling from?
Orcas Island again.
Oh, Orcas Island. How you doing tonight? What's on your mind?
Hey, I heard that caller Deb. I think she likes you, Jimmy. Anyway, I didn't talk all of it.
You mean Debbie? Her name was Debbie. Debbie was cool.
Oh,
yeah,
is it Debbie?
yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe
You
Betty
hear-
Joe.
I could hear it in her voice.
Yeah, or maybe Betty Joe. Hey, you know what, though? It doesn't matter, man. We're all friends. Everybody likes me. I like everybody back, right? Right? That's just the way it is. It's all family. It's all good. So what's on your mind, Earl?
Well, you're going to Egypt, so I thought about a good friend of mine up here. His name's Douglas. He's a retired Egyptian archaeologist. And for a while, we worked together. He worked just because he had nothing to do for the guy who built his house, who I was working for too. And my favorite story of his time in Egypt was on New Year's Eve. I think it was him and his coworker were out in Giza. And it had been a long, hot day, and they had, it was, I guess, every New Year, there's like a big festival, or maybe not a festival, it was a ceremony or concert, I don't know, it was a big event. A lot of rich people, I guess, do that every year right by the pyramid. So they trucked some cold beers in a cooler and climbed up about 2/3 of the way to the side of the Great Pyramid and drank beer. And it was in like 10 minutes or so getting through the first beer, and all of a sudden the spotlight shines on them. And they get arrested. They go to the because they had a little bit of status, they're archaeologists and probably bringing a lot of money into there, but instead of getting taken to jail, they got taken to the embassy and got a stern butt chewing. But that was my favorite story. How cool would that be to get busted drinking beer in the pyramid?
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I don't know if I would do it at the age of 58, but if I was 21, 22, 23, hanging out in Giza, I would do that. Me and my buddies grab a cooler, climb up the side of the Great Pyramid, and drink some beer. We all did that when we were kids. And, that sounds like a lot of fun to me. There was a video before I let you go. There was a video that surfaced. It was about, I'm going to guess about 5 years ago. So this kid has got a GoPro mounted to a helmet, and he climbs up the side of the Great Pyramid, climbs right up. The whole video is there. He gets to the top, and it's all in high def, 1080p, and takes a look around, and he did it and got away with it. I don't think they showed him climbing down and getting arrested, right? Which may have been how it all ended. But, once you get started and you're making your way up the side, I mean, are the security guards and the police going to follow you up and arrest you at the top? No, you've got to come down eventually. So they're going to wait. They're going to wait at the bottom. But, it's interesting how fun that looked, and I think that we all want to do it, right? I mean, why? Yeah. Who wouldn't want to climb to the top of the Great Pyramid and break open a cold brewski when you get to the top? Well, there you go, Earl. Listen, I'm gonna
talk about all right, I'll let you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get the rest of these calls in tonight before I run out of time, and I'm getting to that point. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, Earl, and thank you for the phone call.
Sure. Good night.
It's time to fade to black. Who doesn't want to climb to the top of the Great Pyramid? Who doesn't want to pull that off? Right? We all do. Absolutely. All right. Let me bounce this over and just let me do this really quick. And I am doing my best to
Mudbone. I'm calling from Tupelo, Mississippi. I was born in Wambalo, Mississippi, but I come up here on a tractor to Port, Illinois in 1942 on one tank of gas. Me and my buddy Tulum.
That's incredible. Are you going to tell me you play guitar too? You play guitar?
I done picking some. Honey, be quiet. I'm on the radio with George.
Okay.
Dang it. I finally got on coast to coast. I can't believe it.
Yeah, you need to call Coast to Coast. It's 1-800 Coast to Coast AM, and you'll get through over there. All right. There you go. And let's see who's up next. This is great. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Good evening, Jimmy. This is Mike from Montana.
Hi, Mike from Montana. How are you?
I just have a quick question. Do you have any plans for a near-death experience researcher or anything?
We do that all the
future?
time. Yeah, we do that all the time on the show. Do you have somebody that's a favorite of yours?
No, I'm just looking for a little more info on it. Maybe a researcher would help me understand where to look and.
And why is that?
Oh, I had a incident in 1968. I drowned as a kid. I was 6 years old, and I've heard a lot of people that claim, they've had experiences and this, that, and the other, but very few. I mean, like 4 in the last 54 years,
right,
have had the same type of experience. And I just wondered if it was common, or if every experience is different.
Have you read any of Danny and Brinkley's books?
No, I don't even know who.
Yeah, Dannion, Dannion, Brinkley.
Okay.
He's probably got 6 books out, I'm guessing. I think he was struck by lightning 2 or 3 times. I think he's died 4 times. And he has shared these experiences quite publicly with everybody. And I think the chronicle that he has put together of his experiences are quite extraordinary. I think I have all of his books. And if you are interested in the subject, there's a few really good authors to go and read, and researchers, but Dannion is one. And there is another, he's a neurosurgeon. His name is Eben. That's Eben, Eben Alexander. And he's written a few books too as well about his near-death experience. And he's a neurosurgeon. He's a brain doctor.
Wow.
And so go and check out his books too as well. There's a lot of books on this subject. And we have certainly had many guests on the show over the years. And I do, every couple of months we do a show on this. I find it very fascinating. It's very interesting to me. And I think that my own personal, I don't, try to interject my own feelings on this, but I just think that there is more to the brain and to consciousness than we fully understand. And what happens after we lose the ability to use this body, right?
Right.
What happens to everything else? And I think that there is a lot of evidence out there to suggest that we continue. Now, what happens? It's the great mystery, right? Where 3 questions: where do we come from? Where do we go after we die? And are we alone in the universe? Right? Those are the 3 questions. Those are the 3. And we are still chasing them. We're still chasing all 3. We don't have those answers yet. So I've always find that just completely fascinating. So Mike, Danny and Brinkley, Eben Alexander, start there and enjoy the journey, man. And thank you for the phone call.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Have a great night.
Fade to black.
Fade to black. That's what I'm talking about. That's Mike from Montana. And I think that we all ask those 3 questions. And those 3 questions, which have been repeated over and over again, right? I mean, just repeated by philosophers and scientists and religious sides of things, and just the common person that walks. It's over and over and over again. We hear those 3 questions repeated. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy, Casper Parks.
Hey, Casper, how are you, man?
Doing a busy day with the dog. I mean, it's like, wow.
Yeah, I saw that, man. And
I don't know. He's 10 years old. He's
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
I think so. We got him on a bunch of meds now.
He'll be fine.
So
Casper,
we hope so.
Nothing rips at our soul like our pets, man. That's it. So our thoughts are with you, man. Yeah. And what's his name? Harvey?
It's Henry.
Henry's going to be just fine. All right. We got two.
I watched it on the Wilson doc. Some people are disagreeing with me in chat and stuff, but the fact that they admitted them into the record, I'm leaning toward their kind of on the verge, more or less admitting those are legitimate.
Well, yeah,
some people say, well, they admitted to record, but
yeah. It's admitted into the record, but you would do that with any piece of evidence that's being discussed. Does it vet the document? No, not in my opinion. Does it say that the document's absolutely authentic and we have to take every page at face value now, and this is evidence and this is part of the record and we can use this for a conviction? I'm not so sure, but it forces.
You interviewed some people on the Wilson doc.
Yep, many.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to listen to an old show, which should be like Richard Dolan or Jeff Greenwell or somebody.
And Grant Cameron too as well.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Grant would be good.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I think maybe we need to refresh our memories as what they are.
Yeah, we can go back and do that show. I have the Wilson Davis docs when I first got them sent to me. I've got those original files, man, on my desktop, and I go back and read them all the time. They're just completely fascinating, and it's I in the brief time that we have left, it was Grant Cameron that came up to me at a conference and told me that he had those docs, and it was about 2 weeks later. I got the email, for the documents, and I immediately called Richard Dolan. And I said, "Do you have this?" And I think I think we were sent them together. If my memory is, it's been a number of years now. But anyway, so Richard and I read through the documents together that night on the phone, and I think we were in a very real holy crap moment. But if I go back to that period with Grant and Richard and myself and the start of this journey. The last thing that I expected, especially back then 4 years ago, is that it's going to be brought up on Capitol Hill. No, I didn't. I never saw that one coming, and it was pretty cool, Casper. No doubt about it. Very, very cool.
Yeah, it was great, and I'm glad we got there. It's a step forward. It might not be as fast as everybody wants, but it's still a movement forward.
Yeah. You're right. Hey, Casper, make sure Henry gets better. All right. And the next correspondence I want from you is everything is just fine. Okay.
All right. Hopefully I'll see you in Detroit on the 5th, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. That's going to be great. And I hope you're there. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Casper Parks coming in strong at the end. Yeah, he's right about the Wilson Davis docs, though. What does this do to vetting and to their legitimacy, not only to Capitol Hill, Congress, and House of Representatives and the Senate, but to the rest of the world. And now they are aware of it, because before that moment, it was just members of of our community that knew anything about the Wilson Davis docs. What a great show tonight. Absolutely perfect. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't get any better than Thursday night on Fade to Black. Fade to Black is produced by J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. This broadcast only copyrighted 2022 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black of the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I want everybody to have a great, safe, fun, amazing weekend, and I'll see you right here on Monday. It's time to fade to black.